The biggest mistake many students still make in 2026 is believing that financial success automatically arrives after graduation, as if a university degree itself guarantees stability, high income, and a comfortable future. For decades, this idea sounded reasonable because traditional careers used to follow a predictable path where people studied for several years, entered a stable profession, slowly climbed the ladder, and eventually reached financial security somewhere in their 40s or 50s. The problem is that the internet completely changed the speed at which money moves, attention moves, and opportunities appear. Companies no longer care only about qualifications on paper because millions of people are now building valuable skills outside classrooms, often faster than universities can even update their programs. While students are sitting in lectures learning outdated theory, other people their age are already building audiences, selling services, automating businesses with AI, and earning online from markets that didn't even exist a few years ago. This doesn't mean education is useless, and it definitely doesn't mean people should drop out of school tomorrow. Some careers still require formal education and always will. However, relying entirely on a degree has become risky because tuition costs keep rising while competition for traditional jobs becomes more intense every single year. That is why students who understand how to combine education with digital income streams are gaining a massive advantage over everyone else. The students becoming wealthy today are usually not doing one magical thing. Instead, they are positioning themselves around industries that are growing extremely fast while barriers to entry are still low. They are learning skills that scale globally instead of locally, and they are using the internet to reach thousands or even millions of people without needing large amounts of money upfront. So in this video, we're going to break down 7 side hustles that are creating serious income opportunities for students in 2026. Not based on fantasy or motivational hype, but based on the direction the economy is actually moving. One of the biggest opportunities right now is not simply using AI, because almost everyone already experiments with AI tools. The real opportunity is learning how to combine AI with systems that produce content at scale. A lot of students underestimate how much money is flowing into digital attention right now. Every social media platform is fighting aggressively for user retention because attention has become one of the most valuable commodities in the world. The longer people stay on an app, the more advertisements they see, and the more money those platforms generate. This creates enormous demand for creators who can consistently produce engaging content. The interesting part is that many successful creators are no longer filming themselves all day. Instead, they are operating content systems where AI helps generate scripts, thumbnails, voiceovers, research, editing structures, and even animation concepts. Some students are now running multiple faceless channels at the same time across YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram Reels, and Snapchat Spotlight. One account may focus on finance, another on celebrity news, another on gaming clips, and another on AI stories. Individually, each page may only earn moderate income, but together they create a scalable business. The reason this works so well is because short-form content rewards consistency more than perfection. Platforms need endless amounts of videos every single day, which means creators who understand hooks, pacing, and retention can grow incredibly fast even without expensive equipment. The students succeeding in this space are not necessarily the best editors. Most of them simply understand psychology better than average people. They understand how curiosity works, how to keep viewers watching for a few more seconds, and how to structure information so the audience constantly expects another payoff. What makes this especially powerful in 2026 is that AI dramatically reduced the speed required to produce content. A process that once took several hours can now take 20 minutes. Students who learn how to organize these workflows early are effectively building digital media companies before most people even realize what's happening. A surprisingly profitable side hustle that continues growing rapidly is building and managing online communities. Most people think online communities are just group chats, but businesses increasingly view them as valuable ecosystems where customers spend time, network, and stay engaged with a brand for longer periods. Companies no longer want audiences that simply buy something once and disappear. They want communities that continuously generate interaction and loyalty. That is why platforms like Discord, Telegram, Circle, and private membership communities exploded over the past few years. The interesting thing is that many business owners still do not understand how these systems work. They know they need a community because everyone else has one, but they have no idea how to organize channels, automate onboarding, moderate discussions, structure memberships, or create engagement systems. This creates a perfect opportunity for younger people who grew up around online culture. Students who spend years naturally learning internet behavior often understand these platforms far better than older entrepreneurs. Something that looks confusing and technical to a business owner may feel completely intuitive to a 19-year-old student. The business model itself is extremely straightforward. A student learns how to structure communities professionally, offers free help to a few early clients, builds case studies, and then gradually transitions into monthly retainers where businesses pay recurring fees for community management. The reason recurring income matters so much is because it changes the entire financial dynamic. Instead of constantly searching for new customers every week, students can slowly stack long-term clients on top of each other. Once someone manages 5 or 6 strong communities at the same time, they are no longer operating a side hustle. They are effectively running a digital agency. One of the most underrated opportunities in 2026 is writing content for people who already have audiences but do not have the time, discipline, or skill to consistently create posts themselves. The internet created a strange economy where attention became leverage. Business owners, founders, coaches, investors, and creators all want personal brands because visibility now directly influences revenue. However, most of these people are busy running businesses and cannot spend several hours every day writing threads, scripts, captions, newsletters, and LinkedIn posts. That is where ghostwriters come in. A good ghostwriter is not simply someone who writes grammatically correct sentences. The real skill is understanding how to translate somebody's ideas into content that sounds natural, persuasive, and emotionally engaging while still matching their personality. This is why strong writers can charge enormous amounts of money. If a single post helps a founder attract investors, customers, or millions of views, then the writing itself becomes extremely valuable. Students have a major advantage here because they already consume internet content constantly. They understand memes, trends, pacing, hooks, and conversational language better than many older professionals. The smartest approach is usually not trying to become a famous writer immediately. Instead, students can specialize in one type of platform first. Some focus only on LinkedIn threads for founders. Others focus on YouTube scripts. Others specialize in email newsletters or Twitter content. As AI floods the internet with generic writing, high-quality human communication is becoming even more valuable. Businesses are realizing that bland, robotic content does not build trust. People still respond most strongly to stories, personality, and emotional clarity. The students who master digital communication today are quietly building one of the most future-proof skills available online. A huge shift happening right now is that students no longer need massive engineering teams to build software businesses. For years, software startups required large amounts of funding, complicated infrastructure, and highly technical teams. Today, AI coding assistants and no-code platforms dramatically reduce the complexity of building small digital tools. This created a new category called micro SaaS businesses, which are essentially small software products solving one very specific problem. Instead of trying to create the next Facebook, students are building tools that automate repetitive tasks for niche audiences. Some create AI resume optimizers, others build content scheduling systems, others automate video clipping, email sorting, or research workflows. What makes this model powerful is that software scales infinitely better than services. Once a tool works, thousands of people can potentially use it at the same time. The most important lesson here is that successful software products are usually boring. Many students fail because they chase giant revolutionary ideas instead of solving small, painful problems. A simple tool saving a business owner 30 minutes every day can easily become worth paying for monthly. The internet also makes distribution far easier than before. Students can promote tools through TikTok, Reddit, YouTube tutorials, and niche communities without needing expensive advertising budgets. We are still early in the AI software adoption cycle, which means there is enormous room for experimentation. The people learning how to combine automation, AI, and problem solving right now are positioning themselves extremely well for the next decade. A lot of students think online education means selling low-quality courses filled with recycled motivational advice, but the industry is evolving far beyond that. People are overwhelmed with information today. They no longer pay only for knowledge because almost everything can already be found online for free. Instead, people increasingly pay for structure, simplification, accountability, and speed. That is why digital education businesses are growing rapidly again, especially when they focus on solving one clear problem efficiently. Students who become skilled at something valuable can package that knowledge into templates, guides, systems, coaching programs, workshops, or subscription communities. The important difference in 2026 is personalization. Generic courses are losing effectiveness because audiences became skeptical. However, people still willingly pay for systems that feel specific to their situation. For example, a student skilled in video editing could create editing systems specifically for real estate creators. Someone experienced in productivity could build study systems for medical students. Someone strong in fitness could coach busy office workers remotely. The internet rewards specificity because niche audiences convert better than broad audiences. Many young creators underestimate how valuable even intermediate knowledge can be. You do not need to be the best person in the world at something. You simply need to be ahead of the people you are teaching. As remote work continues expanding globally, digital education businesses are becoming one of the most scalable ways to monetize expertise. Reselling has existed for decades, but social media transformed it into a much larger business because trends now spread globally almost instantly. In the past, students mostly flipped random items locally. Today, resellers operate inside cultural markets where hype, scarcity, and online identity drive demand. Sneakers, vintage clothing, collectibles, trading cards, watches, designer accessories, gaming hardware, and limited edition products all function almost like miniature financial markets. The reason this space remains attractive is because younger people are often closer to internet culture than traditional retailers. They notice trends earlier, understand what audiences value, and recognize which products are gaining momentum online. The smartest resellers are not simply buying random, expensive items. They spend enormous amounts of time researching authenticity, pricing behavior, consumer psychology, and market timing. Platforms like TikTok also completely changed the game because resellers can now build audiences while simultaneously selling products. Instead of relying only on marketplaces, they create content showing pickups, restorations, reviews, and behind-the-scenes sourcing. This combination of commerce and entertainment is incredibly powerful because audiences begin trusting the seller personally rather than viewing them as another anonymous store. Students who become highly knowledgeable in one category can build surprisingly strong businesses from relatively small beginnings. Many large resale brands started from a single bedroom, a smartphone camera, and a deep understanding of online culture. One of the most valuable digital skills in 2026 is the ability to make information visually engaging. The internet is becoming increasingly visual because attention spans continue shrinking while competition for engagement continues rising. Businesses, creators, startups, and personal brands all need videos constantly, yet most people still cannot edit effectively themselves. This creates massive demand for editors who understand storytelling rather than just software. Good editing is not about flashy transitions, it is about rhythm, emotion, pacing, clarity, and viewer retention. The reason certain videos feel addictive is because every visual decision keeps the audience mentally stimulated. Students have a huge advantage because they grew up consuming YouTube, TikTok, streaming culture, memes, and internet humor. They instinctively understand pacing patterns that older generations often struggle to replicate. AI also accelerated this industry dramatically. Editors can now automate subtitles, sound cleanup, clipping, translations, and rough cuts much faster than before. This means one skilled editor can handle far more projects than previously possible. The best strategy for beginners is usually specializing instead of trying to edit everything. Some editors focus only on finance creators. Others specialize in gaming, podcasts, documentaries, or short-form clips. Specialization allows editors to become known for one style, which makes attracting clients much easier. As more businesses realize video dominates online attention, demand for skilled visual storytellers will likely continue growing for years. The biggest shift happening right now is that students are no longer limited by geography, age, or traditional gatekeepers in the same way previous generations were. 20 years ago, building wealth usually required large amounts of startup capital, connections, office space, or years climbing corporate structures. Today, a student with internet access, consistency, and valuable digital skills can realistically build income streams reaching people all over the world. The important thing to understand is that most of these side hustles are not really about quick money. They are about positioning yourself near growing industries while competition is still relatively low. Some people will spend the next few years complaining that AI is replacing jobs, social media is saturated, and opportunities are disappearing. Other people, the exact same age, will spend those same years learning systems, building audiences, improving skills, and creating businesses around the technologies reshaping the economy. The gap between those two groups is going to become enormous by the end of this decade.